I would like to address in the context of this hearing my concerns about diversity, equity, and inclusion offices on campuses in particular. We've heard some of that today, but I noticed a trend that's very disturbing to me, and then I want to come to some of the students and ask you about your experiences on campus as well. But it seems to me that staff at diversity, equity, and inclusion departments on many college campuses today are noticeably anti-Semitic and go about their work in a manner contrary to the stated intent of treating all with equality or equity. In 2021, Heritage did a report on the anti-Semitism of DEI staff at universities that objectively validates my hypothesis on this matter. In conducting its study, Heritage searched the Twitter feeds of 741 DEI personnel at 65 universities to find comments regarding Israel, and for comparison, also looked at their comments about China. Those DEI staff tweeted, retweeted, or liked almost 3 times as many tweets about Israel as tweets about China. But here's what's disturbing. Notably, of the tweets about Israel, 96% were critical of the Jewish state, while 62% of the tweets about China were favorable towards China. So consider that. It appears to me through that data that DEI staff simply across our college campuses and universities are favoring China and disfavoring Israel. In my view, this explains in large part the lack of response towards anti-Semitic instances by DEI staff on college campuses. It seems clear to me that there are a number of higher education institutions whose DEI staff are disconnected with the values and the strategic objectives of the U.S., and what's more, they are clearly anti-Semitic. One of the most painful videos from the fallout of the Hamas attack on Israel on this issue in particular is from UC Berkeley, and in the video you can watch Jewish students pleading with the Vice Chancellor of DEI to do something to protect Jewish students on campus. That DEI administrator talks about how they didn't have enough time to work with Jewish students and that they were overworked, but despite the unwillingness of the DEI administrators to assist, the students themselves put together a vigil for Israel within 24 hours. Despite their busy schedules and despite their workload and despite the fact that they're not getting paid to do that as part of their job. Simply put, Jewish students in many cases receive disproportionate pushback and opposition by DEI staff on college campuses. It's atrocious to me. Dr. Nadell earlier defined anti-Semitism in a number of different ways, but on campuses she said, quote, it involves threats, violence, intimidation, and discrimination on campuses. That was part of her definition. So I want to come to you, Ms. Silberstein, because it appears to me you've experienced this. Have you indeed experienced such threats, violence, intimidation, and discrimination on campuses?
Yes, I have. As I've spoken about before, threats were made saying that they would come to our only kosher dining hall on campus and shoot it up, shoot all of the people who were in it, bomb all of the Jewish houses and facilities on campus that I regularly attend. So yes, I was directly threatened.
And I'm curious, you do have a DEI office at Cornell located there on campus, correct?
Yes, actually, a few weeks ago, the now former DE&I chair, who I'm not sure if his leave was related to this or unrelated, but was found to have made anti-Semitic remarks in support of Hamas online.
Yeah, did that office provide you any support in response to the intimidation that you faced on campus?
No.
Yeah, and that's amazing to me because when I Googled DEI and Cornell, the first thing that came up on their webpage, Cornell's webpage, is a big highlight from this last week that says Cornell awarded excellence in diversity and inclusion. The first paragraph of that says Cornell University has been awarded the 2023 Higher Education Excellence in Diversity Award by Insight into Diversity Magazine for its outstanding commitment to diversity and inclusion. Would you agree that they have outstanding commitment to diversity and inclusion?
So I was made aware that they recently added anti-Semitism to their DE&I training that every student and I believe faculty member must go through, but I haven't seen tangible results.
Yeah, and this is just emblematic, I think, of what's going on across the nation. I note that Stanford University professor was recently suspended for forcing Jewish students in 2 classes to stand in a corner while he called them colonizers. That professor shrugged off the deaths of 6 million Jews in the Holocaust and called Hamas terrorists freedom fighters. Joseph Masada, professor at Columbia University, called the Hamas massacre of Israeli and American citizens, quote, awesome, and, quote, a stunning victory. These are horrific statements. Zarina Grewal, a professor at Yale University, stated on X, formerly Twitter, that Israel is, quote, a murderous, genocidal settler state, and Palestinians have every right to resist through armed struggle. To me, this is disgusting. It's being propagated by the DEI offices on our college campuses, which are actually working contrary to their stated intent. And with that, Mr. Speaker, I yield back in disgust.